Hello, my friends. You know, I travel all over the world, and everybody asks, when is Ihaleakala coming? So I'm bringing Ihaleakala to you. How do you like that?
Wano ka I, pua mai a mai ka po I loka, a ka maa lama lama. Wano ka ha, ka mali ula. Wano ka poho, ke ka ele ma waho a e no kai a pā. Ka I, ke kino iho, nā mea pā. Ka I ao I ku upi o ana noi noi, ma waho a e no kai a pā. Ka ho mau mau o nā manao, a me nā mea pā. Wano ka ho, ame ka ha, he huna kamakane nahi, ka hua huna o kumalipo o wao no ka I.
I am the I. I come forth from the void into light. I am the breath that nurtures life. I am that emptiness, the wholeness beyond all consciousness. The I, the ear, the all. I draw my bow of rainbows across the waters, the continuum of minds with matters. I am the incoming and outgoing of breath, the invisible, untouchable breath, the undefinable atom of creation. I am the I.
So welcome, Ihaleakala.
Thank you very much.
We have lots of questions for you. And some are, comes from my own students and the questions that repeat itself. But first I would like to ask you what did you think the first time you went to a Ho'oponopono training? A lot of people say, what? Because I say, thank you, I love you. What would you tell those people?
Well, I think I lasted only the first break. And Morna said to the class of about 40 people, "Do you see this Chinese man sitting in the middle of the table?" And I said to myself, "Oh my God, I'm in the wrong place." So during the first break, I went home.
You know, some people now hear us saying these things, and they also want to get up and leave.
Yeah.
So how many trainings it took you to really sit and get all the information?
Probably about 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then working with Morna, how was it?
It was pretty easy to work with her because I think most of the time, if not all the time, she was cleaning. She wasn't working on me. And it took me years to realize that's what my job is to just work on myself and not be concerned about anybody.
Sometimes, people ask you this, and you said that maybe what it convinced you the most was that situation with your daughter and the skin rash and the problems?
Well, that was seeing her rash leave almost in a month convinced me that maybe I should be hanging around with this lady.
And many times you tell us, that this is not what I learned at school, that I had to, in school I learned you have to pay attention, showing compassion for people.
Yeah.
And things. So what is it that to be next to Morna that didn't do that, but suddenly people felt better?
I don't know. Well, I didn't know then, but I know now that Morna was doing her cleaning.
I see. Ihaleakala, a lot is going on right now with the law, what they call the law of attraction. So what is that law of attraction, or there are natural laws that we maybe are not aware of, but that we can work with?
Well, first of all, only God knows. And God could be called the I Am, it could be called anything, but I prefer to call the divinity I, okay? And so since I came to the realization that only God knows, then I should be in a relationship with the divinity, and the relationship is taking 100% responsibility for whatever is going on in me that I experience as judgment, as problems. Yeah.
Since you were a little kid, you believe in God? You always believe in God, or
when I was a little kid, I could see things. I could see things that for me it was natural, so I would play with these things. And then I remember like either 2nd or 3rd grade, I shared that with the class in show and tell, and it was not the thing to do.
The teacher didn't like it, huh? They wanted to, did they label you or something?
I think they called my mother.
They called your mother.
Yeah.
Okay. Ihaleakala, so how did that work with raising teenage daughters? You know, when you did that change your relationship before and after Ho'oponopono?
Yeah, I realized that my children came into my life only because God gave me one more chance to make amends with them. And so that I could see them as God created them, pure in heart, yeah. But the only way I could do that was to let go of the world. Whatever judgments, whatever thoughts I had with them, that's something I need to let go. And I did. I worked on it, and I continue to work on it now.
I remember once you told me, you know, our kids, or you told us in a class, you know, our kids are not here for us to tell them what to do. They are here so that they don't, you know, fall in the swimming pool or they get burned with fire.
Well, I think what's important to realize that only really children come to be in our lives is because divinity says, I'm going to send them and they're going to bug you, and to bug you is to remind you should let them go and give them back to me. And so with my children, every time I do the cleaning, it's about letting them go back to God. And only God, since God created them, only the divinity knows what's best for them. And so my job as a parent is to cut my ties with them and give them back to God.
Okay. So one of the questions that it repeats is, how is it that you can do this work 24 hours a day? And I'm thinking of that because when we tell people that you can do the cleaning while you sleep, plus you can talk to, it's better to talk to people, your kids, your spouses, while they sleep.
Yeah.
So could you share with us a little bit about it?
The most important thing is to realize that all of your problems are in you. So if I visit with somebody and they're telling me they have a headache, then the question is, what is going on in me that I experience them telling me that they have a headache? So the cleaning has to be ceaseless. You cannot stop doing the cleaning. The other thing is there's a part of us called the inner child, what the Hawaiians call the Uniipili. That part of you is like a computer bank. You need to work with that part of you to re-educate it so that it will do the cleaning for you automatically.
And you know, since the Unihipili is you always said our best partner. You know, if we are looking for the correct partner, there it is. If you can tell us a little bit more about, because I know the Unihipili is the manifestor also in our life, is the one that makes the connection when we do this work.
Yeah. So the subconscious is, or the Unipili, is where all the information is stored since the beginning of creation. So if you're looking for a problem, it's stored as information in the subconscious. So you have to be willing to teach the subconscious how to let that go, how to let go of memories replaying problems. And so I spend, as you know, when you come into my area, I will be sitting down on the floor and doing my cleaning, and then also talking to the subconscious. This is what we're going to do today, so we're only here to clean, and so I would ask you humbly to help me with the cleaning.
When did you start really communicating with this part of you, or finding out?
At the beginning.
Okay, because as you know, many times you tell me, I don't know how you guys do it. You go out without cleaning.
Yeah.
But we do, because we don't know better.
Yeah.
So in your case, how would you say to people that maybe, you know, we cannot see, we cannot hear? I personally don't have any doubt about how this works, but some people are still stuck maybe in wanting to understand this stuff.
You cannot understand this. Understanding is knowledge, and what we're looking for is wisdom, and only God has this wisdom. So for me, for example, coming to this place, this beautiful house and this beautiful property, before coming, I would talk to the property and say to the property, the place, I'm coming, and I'm only coming to make amends. I'm not here to do the video. I'm not here to do anything. So please let me know if there's anything I need to make amends for. And I begin the cleaning. Before and while I'm here, as you and I are talking, the cleaning is going on. And then when we get ready to go, the cleaning will be going on ceaselessly. Because this property is like a human being. It suffers. It has longing, and so my job is to remove anything in me that causes the property to suffer. Yeah.
Okay, so many times you share about how you see maybe somebody talking and, very politely, and then the inner child's fighting or something. So could you tell us a little bit?
Well, if you read the book, the User Illusion, one of the things you'll come across is that 11 million bits of information playing per second, and the conscious mind is only aware of 15 of them. And so since I don't know, and divinity knows what those memories are replaying, then I'm willing to do the cleaning, because then divinity will come down and make any changes in me that I need to make. But the wonder of the Ho'oponopono is that whatever gets let go out of you by divinity gets let go of the whole universe. So as long as you're at peace, the whole universe is at peace. If the universe is having problems anywhere, then the question is, what's going on in me that I need to take care of? Yeah?
We always say peace starts with us.
Yeah.
And what about how does apply to, relationship, when we are looking for the perfect person, and then we find out that the perfect person is that will give us more opportunities to clean, that will show us, what to clean.
The perfect person you would find in a pure heart. So if you're at pure at heart, that anyone that you see, the relationship, whether the relationship is with this plant, the relationship is with the camera, relationship is with it. As long as you're at zero, the relationship is always perfect. So the relationships have nothing to do with, quote, what is out there. Relationship has to do with you. And as long as you're at peace with yourself, relationships work. Yeah.
Okay. So how this applies to business and money?
Well, I think that it's the same thing. If you're in a relationship with a business or with money, as long as it's zero, that money and that business can do what it came to do. But if you put money first, you put the business first, then you're going to be in trouble. Like you'll see now, the whole stock market, the whole business community is goofy. But for me, the money only comes from God. Perfect relationship only comes from God. And my job is to make sure that I'm at zero, so divinity will give to me what is perfect and right for me. Yeah.
So, for somebody that doesn't know anything, what would you say, where do we start? Because people say, how do you start really trusting yourself? How do you start the cleaning? How do you trust enough that, you just say thank you and you let go because God is taking care of it?
Well, I think first of all, one has to realize that one is created in the image of God, perfect in every way. And for us, perfect means being infinite and being zero. That means no constraints, no borders, no nothing, no judgments, no right, no wrong, no good, no bad. As long as you're willing to be at that state of mind where you're pure in heart, everything will work for you and everything will work for everybody else.
You said the problem is not a problem unless we say it's a problem, and the problem is not the problem, but how we react to the problem is the problem. Could you comment on that? Because, some people come to Ho'oponopono because they think, then I will not have any problems.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you're only here as a prodigal child. What does that mean? You're here because divinity loves you so much, divinity is giving you a chance to make amends so that you can be free of your past. Once you're free, then everybody else is free, and then you get what you need, which is inspiration, and everybody else gets it. So ultimately, you're responsible, 100% responsible.
Well, that's great. For me, realizing, and as you know, I had to take a couple of trainings in order to get to that place. But I always share with people how I was one of those students that came and told you, I clean, but it doesn't work. And you came back and said no expectations. So I don't have any doubt since I let go of expectations and being willing to be patient, But how do you work with the problems again, because when something comes up, what is it that you do? Because people say, okay, you always tell us clean, but the question is, okay, how does it look, the cleaning to you?
Well, if you're looking for the bank, let's say you're looking for wealth, you can only find it with a pure heart. You can only find it at zero. So the idea is you have to give up the world. You have to give up what you think is money, what is good about money, what is good about it. You have to give it all up. And so the way you do it is you do it simply by saying, I love you, thank you, drinking the soul water, doing the seaport product. But ultimately, you will find the divinity only at zero, only in a pure heart. And if you're not there, you'll be forever have problems.
Okay, so many people ask, okay, you say I'm cleaning, or clean. So how does that look, clean?
Well, first of all, you can't treat the I or God as a concierge. You can't say, I'm going to clean and I want this. Wanting something is a desire. And you know the definition of desire?
No, please.
The definition is being away from the Father. D means away and sire means father. So anytime we want something, it's a desire. You're looking away from God. So the Ho'oponopono is about erasing desire, called memories replaying, so that you can be at zero at a pure heart. The Ho'oponopono is only about getting you back to the original state of a pure heart. So, who is your enemy? Well, Jesus said love your enemies, but who is your enemy? Can you tell me who your enemy is, Mabel Katz?
The memories inside of us.
So, and who are your neighbors? The memories inside. So Jesus, all these points that Jesus made is so with the Buddhas, is so with Zen. Your enemies are only your memories replaying. Your neighbors are your memories replaying. The Ho'oponopono is about erasing those things and taking you back to a pure heart or zero, or what Shakespeare called blank.
Well, before you mentioned about, like the crisis with the, this economics and how that means putting money first. So we are talking about Ho'oponopono being putting love first.
No, we got to be more specific. We're talking about putting yourself first, yourself being infinite zero, created in the exact likeness of God. So you're putting that part of you that is zero first, because at zero, that's where you're going to find the right relationship, the right idea, the right sources of wealth. But you can only find it at a pure heart. You can't find it any other place.
Okay. So when we are saying thank you, love you, is those enemies that are really inside of ourselves.
Yeah, the enemies.
Our neighbors, like you said, are inside of ourselves.
Yeah.
Everything is inside.
Yeah. What we got to be clear of is that the problems are in us. They're nowhere else in the universe. So it's like giving up the world. What is the world? Giving up our past memories of what we think is right, what we think is wrong, what we think is good, what we think is bad. Because all of humanity have a belief of what is right and wrong. And what divinity is saying, there's no right and wrong. At zero, you're perfect. You don't go into right and wrong.
Okay. Yeah. That reminds me of, like, always the question is, what if I have a good memory?
Yeah, there's no such thing as a good memory. You're either zero and infinite, or you're hanging around with, what about my love for my children? Well, but if you were at zero, your children would get divinity's love, not yours. You want the love of God, not the love of what you think is right for your children. Yeah.
Okay. So going back to all this movement of the secret and the law of attraction that we mentioned before, people say, visualize, think positive, And could you refer to those 15 thoughts per second that we are maybe managing?
First of all, you have to know that that divinity is always talking to you. Always. But we blunt that. We blunt the talking and the hearing of divinity with what we think is right and perfect for us. And as long as we think being memories replaying, this is right and wrong, and this is right or good or bad for me, then we don't hear the voice of divinity. So if the voice is always there, the light is always there, it is always there. But we blunt that by having opinions, beliefs about what is right and wrong. So the Ho'oponopono is about erasing the memories, allowing the light to come through, but the light was always there, always.
Could you explain to us a little bit of how this cleaning works? It's not that we are the ones erasing, but how really it works. We are giving permission, but maybe you can explain it better.
Well, it's really simple. What we're saying is the problem is in me, the problem is a memory replaying, and I'm saying to God, I would like to make amends for that memory replaying my problem, replaying disease, replaying suffering. And I'm sorry, please forgive me for those memories, and divinity then has the ability to erase, called transmutation, can erase it. But if we don't say we are responsible, it's never going to be erased. And most people think it's you.
Yes.
It's an Argentinian in
Yes.
you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe they are right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always tell people that when I found that I was 100% responsible, actually I found freedom.
Yeah.
I found freedom of not depending on other people doing or changing or saying for me to be happy. So if I'm happy, it's my problem, really.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm choosing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about that visualization and that feeling or seeing yourself in the house already, owning or driving the car already?
Well, if the light is always on, the light of the divinity, and that light being saying, I know what's right for you, I can give you everything that's perfect and right for you, why would you visualize? Can you ask me that? Why would people visualize if whatever is right and perfect for them, they already have? Why would you visualize anything? Can you explain that to me?
So, well, because we are not in zero.
Oh.
So we don't know who we are, and we think we need those things in order to be happy.
Yeah.
That's the way I define.
For me, I clean with that notion that I know better for me than what God knows for me. I'm always cleaning on that. Cleaning that only God knows what's right for me, what's right for you, and as long as I'm zero at a pure heart, whatever is perfect and right, I get. I never worry about money. I never worry about relationship. I never worry about any of those things. I'm only concerned about whether I'm cleaning. That's what I'm concerned about.
Well, in one of the last classes that you joined us, the teleclasses, you mentioned something that really got to us, and every time remember we actually shared when you said, I don't know you guys, what you guys clean to have money or to have a relationship. He says, I clean to be with God. Could you please tell us a little bit?
I'm cleaning to be as God created me, pure in heart. That's what the message of Jesus, being pure in heart. The message of Buddha, being void. The message of Shakespeare, being blank. Because only at blank am I in a perfect relationship with God. I mean, there's no other perfect relationship than being a pure heart, one lined up with God. Yeah.
I would like to share, you have shared through these years many stories about Morna, and I'm going to mention some and see. You told me that Morna was afraid when she was a small child to go across the street, and she would see this huge hand coming from the heavens. Could you tell us?
Yeah, that's the presence of God always. So when we are when we into fear or we into lack, then we have shut off God's light. But the divinity's light is always on. I mean, it's never not on. So the idea is to let go through cleaning, being repentful and saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me for whatever is going on in me that I blocked the light, which is always present. Yeah.
Okay. What about like talking to plants? Morna used to go, and I know you mentioned that she was able to hear her own mother.
Yeah.
Like asking plants what.
For example, I remember one day Morna was asked about a particular person, and she said, okay, you give me a day, and during the next day she went out and she visited a field, and she said to the field, here's the person that needs our help. Can you raise your hand and let us know? So certain plants put up their hands, she went and gathered them, she did whatever, and she gave it to the guy, and the guy got exactly what he needed. So everybody has a different need, and so you can't be treating people like they're cattle, where everybody gets the same medication. So the Ho'oponopono is about divinity knowing exactly who you are, exactly who we're talking about, and releasing what is perfect and right, and then giving you in return what's perfect and right for you. It's so simple. I mean,
Well, some people say it's simple for you.
Yeah, but I think that can be clean.
We are stuck. We are stuck in
we're
thinking.
only stuck because we don't clean. And we
Yeah.
clean. Somebody said, I don't believe in that. I say, thank you, I love you, thank you very much, and move on. You know, Jesus said that there are going to be certain people in which you will offer something and they will turn away from you. Well,
You
what's
say
the big,
thank you?
Yeah, what's the big deal? And you just say, okay, see you in the next endeavor. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you talk to us about how you can hear like cars talking? How you heard? Remember when you told us about your shoes telling you that it was going to rain?
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah. You know, it's nothing. It's not such a big deal. The idea is if you're at zero, you'll hear God, whether it's in a shoe, a plant, the skies, and my friend over here, and you. As long as you're at zero, you can hear things talking to you. That's the divinity in everything. So one day I came home from work and I took my shoes off like I do here, and I was going to put my shoe in the closet, and my shoe said, I don't want to be there. And I said, okay, where do you want to be? I want to be outside on the balcony. I said, okay. So I'm walking out to put the shoes on the balcony, and then I heard the shoe say, I changed my mind. I want to be inside. Where do you want to be inside? I'm getting annoyed and irritable now. Yeah. So I said, inside of the glass. So I put the shoe down, and I said to the shoe, how come first of all you want to go out on the balcony? Why is it you want to be there? The shoe say it's going to rain. So I look out like here, and it's perfectly cloudless. And I'm going, listen, there's no clouds out there. The shoe say, in an hour it's going to rain. And an hour it rained. Because the shoe had its own awareness, and it's an awareness of God. Yeah. So everything is sacred. What you do with your shoes, what you do with your clothes, it's sacred. Yeah.
You told me stories like, getting at the stop and then the car's talking. Oh, because my owner doesn't change my oil, doesn't take care of me.
Yeah. I remember one day, Morton and I were going on the way to Washington, D.C., and we came up to the stop sign. Another car came up, and the car I was driving said, hello, how are you? And the other car said, I just feel horrible. And my car asked, how come? He said, well, the owner doesn't care for me, doesn't change the oil, doesn't do any of that, but he wants me to be okay. I said, well, I heard my car say, but you can clean with that, be 100% responsible. And the car said, screw it. And so the car, like most people, don't want to be 100% responsible.
What about like that time that you were with Mona on the train? I think in the plane where it started moving and turbulence, and you look outside and Mona said, that's not what it is.
Yeah. So like anything else, whether the plane is rocking or whether your dog is having problems, or whether your child is goofing on, the question you have to ask yourself, what's going on in me that I experience that? And as long as you're willing to clean with that, everything else will be fine. The plane settles down, your kid goes off a drug, your dog doesn't have any problems. I mean, in the end, it's in you.
Everything's in you. Okay, we have some weird tools that we use, like the flight paper. People love flight paper.
Yeah.
I talk about flight paper even in my book. Could you tell us the day that you heard a noise and you said, what was that? And you heard, somebody threw the flight paper?
Yeah.
I mean, because, for us, we say, thank you, I love your flight paper. And we said, yeah, really, something happened when we do those things?
Well, I think first of all, you have to say to those things like flight paper, I appreciate you. People don't say it, they just do it, but they don't have an appreciation for what they're doing. So for me, I'm always talking to the cleaning processes. I'm saying to them, I love you, thank you for helping me get out of this. And so they really appreciate that, so they will talk back to you. So one day I heard this thing go up, I just heard it in my mind, and it went, whoom! And I said, what was that? And the flight paper said, it's only me cleaning up. But one has to have an appreciation for life, for the plants. Because this plant, for example, if I say ice blue and I touch the plant will give me a treatment that I don't have to pay for. But I have done my cleaning, ice blue. Ice blue is a cleaning tool, removing whatever ties you have with the plant. Then I touch the plant, and the plant will give me whatever is perfect and right, coming down to the divinity. You're always getting it from divinity. You're not getting it from a guru or a master or a medical doctor. You're looking directly to God. And you're saying to God, I'm sorry, please forgive me. The ice blue is, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And I touch the plant. Divinity will come to the plant and give you whatever is perfect and right for you.
Ihaleakala, I always remember, and I was really amazed, and I share this with people in trainings about the glass of water, because I do remember the glass of water, that tool came out in this consultation with a Spanish lady, and you asked me to go and grab, you heard, about the glass of water. I saw the changes in people using it, for depression and things like that. But I also remember what you shared in that consultation, and you say, would you like to tell me what I see? And I see all these fairies, on top of the glass, and seeing God's work and going like, wow. You say, they can see God's transmutation. Yeah.
What happened is those fairies are like angels. So different people have different ways of explaining this. But like the word Hawaii, for example. The word Hawaii, Y at the end means water of life. This is why I'm drinking this. Because as I'm drinking it, I'm saying to the divinity, I would like to make amends for whatever is going on now that I'm not even aware of. Would you free me from that information? So divinity transmute whatever, and what do I know what's being transmuted? I have no idea. But I know if I do my part, which to ask for forgiveness, divinity has to do its part. Whether divinity is in Guadalajara on vacation, divinity has to say, okay, I heard you, and can do the cleaning.
So the idea is always, working no matter what, no matter where you are, what the situation is in front of you. It's always about taking responsibility and knowing that is in you.
You and I and everybody else, including the plants, the glass, the table, we're only here on this lifetime to say to the divinity, I'm sorry, please forgive me. There's no other purpose for being, and as long as we're willing to do that, then divinity is willing to transmute or erase whatever is not zero, not infinite, and so that we can come back home to the light. And that's the only purpose why I'm here.
Okay, so a lot of people knows about the solar water and how to prepare it, the blue water, but during these years, and I've been part of being there as a witness of how all this information sometimes comes, and now we have the blue seaport water, but you created these seaports, and maybe if you can, I have to tell you, because maybe I'm not that sensitive, sometimes for curiosity, I tell people that can, feel these kind of energies, and I give the seaport practice, and I say, you tell me what you feel, or what you get, and they say, oh wow, and this is like a vortex, and this has some energy, and I can feel it. So could you tell us a little bit of...
I was on a walk like I usually do in Woodland Hills several years ago, and as I was walking along, touching a tree, saying ice blue, touching his tree along the line, as I was about to touch a tree, I heard, go home and read page 103 of the manual. I made a note of that, and I continued to walk, and I went home, and I opened up the page to 103 of the manual, and that 103 second paragraph said, clean, erase, erase. Divinity says that's the only purpose why you're here. So the seaport, C means clean, E means erase, E means erase. And the port, Divinity says, is that you're coming home. It's like a ship on the seas just going up and down, and now you're going, now I can come home into a safe port. And so a seaport is a cleaning process, whether it's a water, whether it's anything, the pin, the bookmark, the seal, it's about cleaning, erasing.
Helping us. You always said we need all the help we can get.
Yeah, and it's wonderful because you don't have to do anything but stick it on you. So I have a seaport pin on me, right here.
Yeah.
And as
I have mine too.
And as I'm talking, divinity is, I'm saying divinity, whatever I'm here at Joanne's place, I'm here with Rodolfo, I'm here with his partner, I'm here with the camera, I'm here with the trees, I'm here with Mother Earth. Whatever error that I've committed, I would like to make amends. So now I have here, I have on my cell phone, I have the Seaport Seal, because divinity is saying, maybe 5-10 years down the road, people are going to suffer from the use of cell phones, because there are these electrical memories replaying, a lot of it's space that people are not aware of, that they're going to end up with problems. And so for me, I just do as I'm told.
Okay, so I would like to ask maybe something that we talked before, but it is a question that a lot of people ask is, so how do you do the cleaning while you sleep? How is it that it works?
Hopefully you've re-educated the subconscious, and the subconscious will do it. That's number one. Number two is you can get a down pillow and sleep in, and the down pillow works on memories that have to do with beastly part of man. Anger, resentment, hate, lust, and all that. So you can do that. The other thing you can do, I always wear a Seaport pin. So
different ways.
There's never a point where you're not cleaning. I mean, that's the reason why I want to make sure that that divinity doesn't foreclose on my soul because I'm not cleaning. Foreclose meaning debt. And I want to be able to say to divinity, I'm cleaning ceaselessly, please do your part. What is your part? Erase, erase, erase.
Yeah, I love when you tell us that cleaning is like paying off debt, or depositing in this spiritual bank, and it's going to come back to us.
Can you imagine being able to pay off your debt by simply saying, I love you, thank you, drinking solar water, doing the fly paper, doing any of the 80 or so cleaning tools? I mean, all you have to do is say them. You don't have to understand them. Like when I do the training in Japan, the Japanese, like the Americans, have a lot of questions. And I keep saying to them, you can erase that. You can say your questions, I love you, thank you for coming up, and have divinity erase it, because questions are looking for knowledge, and knowledge is not where you want to go. You want the wisdom that only comes from God.
What about riding one horse? When you tell us riding one horse, very important.
Well, the riding one horse really comes back to yourself. Whether you're going to give yourself away to a guru or to a master or to a shaman or to a religion or to any, you really want to give yourself back to God. And the Ho'oponopono is about coming back home to zero where God is. Yeah.
I understood it really clearly because, talking about doing the cleaning 24 hours, you want that unihipili, your subconscious mind to be able to do it automatically like it does the breathing. So the idea of the one riding the horse, I understand, is also very important for the unihipili to know what to do the next time, a problem shows up in our life.
What the unihipili wants is freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from the suffering. That's what it wants. And the only way it can be freed is divinity has to erase the suffering. And if we don't take 100% responsibility, if we think that it's him to blame, and George Bush to blame, somebody else to blame, we'll never achieve that freedom. And so the freedom, the Ho'oponopono provides freedom and clarity of mind, a pure heart.
You always talk about clarity. Yeah. You have to, clarity is a must.
Yeah.
What would you say about that?
Well, I think what happened in business, the business thing, is the business says, I know what I'm doing, but look at what's happened. But if you want to run a really powerful business, you have to be clear. And to be clear means to be at zero. And it allows divinity to run the business in wisdom as opposed to running it in knowledge. I mean, I know people, for example, there's a cardiologist in Japan who was sharing, when my last visit, was sharing about the Ho'oponopono, and he said usually in September and August, his business goes down. He said for whatever reason, more and more patients are showing up, more and more. He said, I don't know what to attribute that to. He said, could it be the cleaning? I said, could be, maybe, perhaps. I have a person who is very, very successful in Hawaii, probably one of the wealthiest men in Hawaii, he knows that the cleaning is going to get him where he needs to go. So it only comes down to whether you're going to be in a partnership with God or you're going to be in a partnership with memories replaying stuff. You know?
I remember about the psychologist that you sometimes share with us that she was worried. She said, but I clean, I'm not going to have patients, no? And now she works less, makes more money.
Yeah, same thing with my friend Leslie. So Leslie's finding out that as she takes good care of herself through the cleaning, divinity will send to her not just any patient, but the right patient for her to look at herself. And so now my understanding is quote, more people are showing up. She sleeps better. She's not as tired like she used to. So the cleaning has really opened up for her how to be at peace, and then allowing the divinity to work on the patients and not her. Yeah.
Okay, so I know I had another question, but it's...
Maybe you could do the peace of eye prayer so we can close, huh?
Yes. I just wanted to do one more, but it's just went. So, Ihaleakala, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, because this gives the opportunity, to people to know a little bit more, to have you more, close, and I'm sure, these are many of the questions that people have that would like to.
But remember, questions can be erased.
Yeah, I know what I wanted, and then we close. It's about the intellect and how you kind of define it like this, kind of. The deadly thing, the thing that really hurts,
What happens with the intellect is the intellect says, I know, and the intellect does not know. The intellect operates only on 15 out of 11 million bits of information. So it's for the intellect to say, I know, the whole universe just laughs. Said, what? They know? If they know, how come we have so many problems? And so the Ho'oponopono is saying, I don't know. Only God knows. I'm only here to clean up what I think I do know, and as long as I'm willing to let it go, everything else will be fine. Yeah.
Thank you, Ihaleakala.
Kamalahia no me hoi, ku'u malahia a pāloa. Kamalahia o ka'i, o wao no kamalahia. Kamalahia no na wao, a pāo no ke'ia, wa a mao loa aku. A awi aku wao I ku'u malahia ia oe, waho aku wao I ku'u malahia me oe. A ole, kamalahia o ke ao, aka, ka'u malahia wale no, kamalahia o ka'i.
The peace of all. Peace be with you, all my peace, the peace that is I, the peace that is I am. The peace for always, now and forever and evermore. My peace I give to you, my peace I live with you. Not the world's peace, only my peace, the peace of I.